The Pokemon LEGO sets have finally been revealed, and the prices of these are crazy. So we've known about these for around a year. Of course, we've gotten other Nintendo Legos. We got the NES, the Game Boy, some Mario ones. We even got a Zelda one, Animal Crossing. And it only made sense for Pokemon to be next, being that it's one of the biggest media franchises ever. We've of course had like the Mega Bloks ones, but it's not the same as Lego. Lego is much higher quality. And people have been waiting for this for a long time. And finally this morning we got 3 new sets, plus 2 mini sets that explain how you can get those. So starting at the most affordable one, $60 for Eevee. It's 587 pieces. So for a Lego set, that's very affordable. Legos are typically expensive. The pricing is pretty standard, like $60 for basically 600 pieces, pretty normal. But then that's where things get a lot different. Like that's a fairly affordable set, like I said, but then we have Pikachu at $200 and Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise at $650. So I just want to go over these sets, if it's worth it, what could be next, and then the mini sets. So $200 for this for 2,050 pieces. Again, not anything crazy for Lego, standard price. And it's a cool set. Like it seems to be a decent sized set of its 2,000 pieces. You could adjust it. You could either have Pikachu standing up or on this platform with a Pokeball behind. So it's definitely cool. For $200, if you're a big Pokemon fan, I could definitely see someone wanting to pick this up. If I saw this for like, I don't know, $150, maybe I'd get it if I really wanted it. I have the NES, the Game Boy, the Piranha Plant. I have most of the like Nintendo sets made for adults for display. Like these are really like marketed towards adults, like just to display. Not these aren't sets you're going to be playing with or anything. So if you're looking for a gift for a little kid, I wouldn't recommend these. And then finally we have Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. So this is one of the most expensive Lego sets. Like there's some that are way more, like there's $1,000 Lego set, there's some that are $700, but this is going to be up there for the most expensive ever. And is it worth it? Well, it's up to you to decide, but I'll tell you the information to help you decide it. So 6,800 pieces, 6,838 to be specific. And that means this is a massive set. So Pikachu is 2,000, and then this is nearly 5,000 more. So that's obviously a huge set, and we can see one of the pictures here of a guy who was next to it for scale. So this is a huge set. This set is going to be heavy, and it's going to be something you're going to need a lot of space to display. So I think the set itself is very cool. It looks like you can even take it apart. Like you could display the individual Pokemon if you want also. Like if you don't want like the actual board for it, like the bottom of it, it seems like you can have it separate. But I mean, that kind of takes away a lot of the point of it. But $650, like that is just absolutely insane. Now again, for what you're getting with the pieces, it's not like Lego is overcharging that much for what they've already set is pretty much like the standard rate per piece, because you're paying $650 for 6,800. But $650 is a lot of money. Like you could buy a Switch 2 with Mario Kart World, so that's $500, and then 2 brand new $70 games for $140, and you'd still have spent less on that. You could buy a PS5 Pro for around that price, I think. Now, I'm a big fan of Lego. I like to build it, I like to display it, and occasionally, like if there's a set I really want, maybe I'll spend a couple $100. Like the NES set I got for Christmas a few years ago, like that's something I'd spend a couple $100 on. It's a really cool set. I still have it on display. The Mario question mark block, I actually got it for an insane deal. I got it for like $50, but that was, I think, originally $150 or $200. So something like that, if it's something you really want, you can try and justify it to yourself. Like maybe you want to get it as like a present, maybe you ask for it as a birthday or Christmas present, maybe you just buy it after a paycheck or something if you have some extra money. But $650 for a Lego set, like that's a huge investment. You're not getting this unless you're either the biggest Pokemon fan in the world or one of the biggest Lego fans in the world, because that's a lot for a display piece. I don't love Venusaur's design here. I really like how Charizard and Blastoise look here. Venusaur, not the biggest fan of. If this was like, if they had a version of this that was $200, I'd definitely consider it, even though I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. But I just can't see a world where I spend $650 on a Lego set. I can't. And then before I talk about this more, I do want to talk about 2 more sets. So one of them is a gift with purchase, which basically means if you buy it on the Lego site with one of these, like you get it for free, like you just get it with it. So one of them is these badges, specifically Kanto region badge collection, and this is cool. Like this is a cool gift with purchase. Not a very big set, just has about 8 badges, it looks like. Nice box for it. So this is something you can't actually buy separately, at least officially. You would have to buy this with one of the Lego sets. And then there's also going to be a PokéMart. So this is a Lego Insiders reward. Like you buy Lego sets and get points. If you have enough points, you can get this. So this is a very tiny set. This is not meant to be a full set or anything. It's just a neat little build that you can get if you have extra points. So nothing too interesting there. So I do want to talk more about the actual like main Pokemon sets. So it kind of sucks that there's not really many affordable ones here, because $650 I can't imagine that it's going to sell out. Maybe it will. Maybe there's enough Pokemon fans, enough LEGO fans that want this, but it's really pricing a lot of people out of it. $200, not ridiculous for LEGO standards. Like, that's something that I think will sell decently well. $60 for Eevee, that's affordable for a LEGO set, and I think that's one a lot of people will just get because they want a Pokemon set, and that's by far the cheapest option. I definitely think that Nintendo is going to make some play sets with this. Pokemon is obviously very popular among kids, and these are not sets you would get most kids. Like, these are sets that adult collectors are going to want to get, or adult Pokemon fans. So I would be surprised if they never tried to make like any playset with minifigures, because minifigures are a big way that LEGO makes money. Like, they have these blind bags where they'll have like 12 or 16 different minifigures that you don't know which one you're getting. So I could see them doing that with Pokemon. Obviously, a lot of them couldn't be minifigures. Like, you couldn't really have a Pikachu minifigure, so it'd have to be like a smaller thing, or just having like maybe a certain area, like just a playset for kids. Like, maybe have a Pokemon trainer minifigure and then someone to battle, because those would be a lot more affordable. And then with this, I think as long as these sell well, they'll probably continue the Pokemon line for a long time. Like, I'm sure they already have other sets planned, other big Pokemon. Pikachu is the Pokemon, so that makes sense. Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise are very popular. And then Eevee, like, I could see them doing more starters. I could see them making like a Mudkip or a Lucario, maybe some newer Pokemon. Probably release maybe a couple of years or so. So this is what we have for now. These are coming out, I think, next month or in March. So it's definitely possible that they reveal some at the end of the year. If we look at the Mario line, it's been kind of inconsistent. Like, if we want to base this off that. So we've gotten some great Mario sets. If you want to consider the NES one to be one, Game Boy, I mean, I think they counted as one. Those came out years apart. We got the Mario Question Block, which came out a few years ago. We got the Piranha Plant. We got the Mario Kart Lego set last year. So we've gotten some like adult sets for that spread out over the course of the past 5 years or so. I think it may have originated in 2020. And then of course we've gotten all the play sets with like with Lego Mario, who has like the mini screen on it, and I've never bought any of those just because those are very clearly marketed towards children. So maybe Lego wants to go that way with Pokemon at some point. Like, we've actually never gotten a Mario minifigure. We've gotten the Legend of Zelda. We got one set in 2023 or 2024, I think. That's the Great Deku Tree, and that actually gave us a few minifigures, which is really cool. And that set is $300, something I want to pick up, but I want to see if I can get it for cheaper. And then we've got an Animal Crossing. So those are also sets geared towards kids, like they're play sets, which when I say that, if you don't know what I mean like think of it like a house, for example, where there's no, like, it doesn't enclose, like the backside is just open, like a kid is able to play with it, or just something that doesn't have like an enclosed building, like if it's just some grass or a floor that you build. Like, think about like a lot of the Ninjago sets or Lego City, for example. So I'd be very shocked if Lego didn't go this direction. Something I would like to see is like a modular of this. So for those of you who don't know, a modular is like an enclosed Lego building. If you finish building it and you turn it around, like, you'll see like the back wall, the front of it will be obviously the door and the entrance to the building, and you could usually split it open or take the ceilings off, and it reveals like basically an entire interior. So I really like those sets. I think it's a very cool concept. I have a couple of them, and basically what the PokéMart is, like, that's a very mini version of it. I think it's enclosed. I could be wrong on that, but think if you had like an entire PokéMart and you could like split it open, and like it has a front and back and sides. That's something I'd like to see Nintendo go in that direction. So usually those can range from anywhere between $200 to around $400. There might be a few that are even more. So I think that's, I don't want to say safe bet, but that's definitely a likely set for them to make a big PokéMart of that. So there's unlimited ideas they could do here, whether it's locations, whether it's environments, minifigures, more sets like this where it's just showing off Pokemon. I think that's all good possibilities, and I look forward to seeing what LEGO can do with this, because I really like how Nintendo and LEGO partnered around 5 or 6 years ago, because there's so many ideas they could go with. So far they've only had the 4 series: Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, and Pokemon. And I wonder what they'll do next. Like, I'm sure all 4 of those series will keep getting sets. I'm not sure what will be next. Animal Crossing, that line has kind of been like, I don't think it's selling particularly well. I always see it in stores on sale. And just because those are all marketed towards kids, I don't know how many kids are buying the Animal Crossing Lego sets. I'm sure there's some, but I don't think they really know who they're marketing it towards. But there's obviously a lot of other big Nintendo series. Something like Metroid, I don't think they would do, just because it's not as big as the other series and it's more mature. And not to say that Lego doesn't do any like mature sets, like mature movies or film or anything. Like this Harry Potter, which is like obviously kid friendly in a way, but it's what isn't usually for little kids. They had like the Lone Ranger sets all the ways back, and of course like Marvel and DC. Like, are you really gonna say like those are like less violent than like Metroid or something? I just don't think Metroid's a big enough name, but I think that would be incredible if they had something like the map of Super Metroid, if they had like a diorama of Samus versus Ridley or something, but that's probably just a pipe dream. Pikmin's one I think is more realistic just because it's a lot more kid friendly. Like, there's a lot more they could do with it. I just don't exactly know what a set can be. My guess is they probably make like the Pikmin figures. Like, it wouldn't be minifigures, it would have to be smaller than that, but have like the dedicated figures there. Maybe have like a fruit or something as a display piece. Like, have like a place with some enemies, some Pikmin, Olimar, or whoever. I do think the next one that's the most realistic though is probably Splatoon, just because that's a very big series. It could easily be transformed into Legos, whether it's just like kid sets, like with the minifigures and maybe like some platforms that you could customize like the ink on. It's something I would like to see more of that's not tied to a certain series is more consoles. We got the NES in 2020, we got the Game Boy this past year. Both are greatly designed, especially the NES, like the TV that you can move. So those are obviously the two consoles people think of when they think of classic Nintendo, but getting a Super Nintendo, getting a Nintendo 64, a GameCube, which would be perfect for a Lego set. I'd love to see that. I don't know if that's as realistic, but that would easily sell out. And then another idea I had, I know I'm going off topic from Pokemon, but if they had like a display piece, like I saw there was something for Ninjago's 15th anniversary or something where it's just like a nice set with all of the ninjas and like some of the characters, like meant to show them off. And what if they made something like that? Like they had like a Mario, Link, Samus, like all the big Nintendo protagonists on a display piece. That's something that I would really hope for, but I don't think they're going to do that. But anyway, I know I went off topic here, but what do you think about these Pokemon Lego sets? Like, what do you want to see from Pokemon Lego? Are you going to be getting these? What's the price you think is fair for these? And what do you want to see in the future? Like, whether it's Pokemon Lego or other Nintendo Lego? Let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe.